message from the House for this one, but we're going to go ahead and consider their amendment, so we're ready for whenever we get that message. Basically, the House amendments, first of all, they make some kind of technical and clarifying changes. One of them is, as the bill left this committee, it talked about hemp product, including a plant or any part of a plant with a delta 9 THC concentration that does not exceed 1% on a dry weight basis. The House took that down to 0.3%, which is the current sort of required level under for the hemp product definition under federal law. But then this is where we get to that remediation question. It says if a person produces hemp that exceeds a delta 9 THC concentration of 0.3% up to 1% on a dry weight basis, then the person can dilute it down to that 0.3%. So it still keeps that 0.3%. Or it doesn't say 0.3, it says to an allowable concentration confirmed by an independent testing lab. And then the final piece that the House has added is uncodified language, saying that this act is contingent on the taking effect of federal law, regulation, or rule authorizing a person that produces hemp with a delta 9 THC concentration up to 1% on a dry weight basis to include the hemp in a consumable product if the hemp is diluted to an allowable concentration. So it becomes contingent on federal law. So the concern, as I understand it, is got some information after the bill had been voted out of this committee that as it left the Senate, there was concern that it could actually make our entire hemp program illegal. Which, if that were to occur, if the USDA determined that our hemp program was not in compliance with federal law, they could shut down they could basically make it so that hemp could not be shipped out of Maryland. It's regulated a little bit differently than cannabis, so we don't quite have the same leeway to sort of self-regulate in the field of hemp as we do in the field of cannabis, is my understanding.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Was there any change in the effective date?
By making it contingent, it becomes effective October 1st, but subject to that contingency.
Right.
So
there was no other adjustment of that date?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Hester.
I mean, if we make it contingent on the federal law, doesn't that make the whole thing null and void? Can we just give me 2 minutes?
Look, I think it's a bogus amendment, and we've been out of compliance on marijuana for years with the federal government, and that hasn't stopped us, and they haven't tried to implement or take us to court, as Colorado and state after state after state. But it is 5 of 10. I don't know if it's better not to have the bill or to have that bill. I don't know. We don't want to have an open hearing here, but I don't know if you've been following in the House or you knew about these amendments. If one of you wants to speak, we'll listen to one of you. If you have any thoughts on this, come to the table, tell us who you are.
Hi, Anna Cheney, Honey's Harvest Farm, hemp farmer. My understanding is that MDA has pushed for this. Now, my understanding also is that the federal regs have the final ruling on the federal regulations, which are the enforcement interpretation of the current law, the federal law, is that we are allowed to remediate already with the regulations between 0.3 and 1%. So it is not legislation, but it was their final regulations ruling. So we are also saying the same exact thing you are, Senator Penske, is what's better? And do we think the feds are going to pass this by October 1st, as in legislation?
But did you say they are in their current promulgated regs that would allow this?
Yes,
So it's not going to be more stringent than what's in the bill.
correct.
So then, is there any harm in passing the bill with that amendment?
The only thing is, the difference is that the regs allow us to remediate. This thing is saying pending federal legislation. So the rules, the final ruling on the rules and the enforcement, I guess their interpretation of legislation is that we're allowed to remediate. So I don't know if there's a technicality with that word, legislation, or if it's just still compliant because it complies with the current regulations. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Contingent on the taking effect of federal law, regulation, or rule authorizing a person that produces hemp with a delta-9 THC concentration up to 1%.
Okay.
But it says to remediate and to include the hemp in a consumable product, and I think that might be another issue, because my understanding is right now that under federal law, it's not allowed to be included in consumable products.
Well, we all remediate it to 0.3%. That's what we've been doing here in the state for the last 3 years. So we already do that. So we are in compliance anyway. So as you said, Senator Penske, unclear as to why this has come up.
Okay. Bottom line is for us. I mean, it's still our choice. But if you had your druthers, would you want this passed into law or us to sit on it and either wait till next year or see what happens with the federal regulations?
I think we should pass it.
Okay. It's been moved favorable to concur with the House amendments. I see some shaking of heads. Anybody want to object to that? Seeing not, 3, 4, 6, 10. It's 10-0-1. We concur. We have about 3 or 4 more to go. Let's rock and roll.
I've got one quick one. You go ahead first. Sorry.
Senate Bill 481, Harford County Alcoholic Beverages Service Under Stadium License. In general, this bill repeals a requirement that an individual must serve beer, wine, and liquor under a Harford County Stadium beer, wine, and liquor license in only a specified type of container. The House amendments authorize service of beer, wine, and liquor in a glass container only on the club level in areas designated by the license holder to hold a special event or dining area. This conforms the Senate bill to the House bill as passed unanimously by the Senate. The motion is to concur.
The thumbs up from the Harford senator. Any objection to concurring? Senator? Look, we missed it, and I apologize to Senator Huff. It was bogus. And I think hopefully we would have stopped it if we knew about it. It slipped by us. Okay, concurrence on this. Anybody object? 10-0-1, approved. Next.
Senate Bill 482, Harford County Alcoholic Beverages Resort Complex License. In general, this bill establishes a resort complex license that authorizes the holder to sell beer, wine, and liquor at certain outlets in the resort complex. The House amendments require certain alcohol awareness training and decrease the amount of the annual license fee from $6,000 to $4,000. This conforms the Senate bill to House Bill 465 as passed unanimously by the Senate. The motion is to concur.
Yeah, if there wasn't a second bill, I'd suggest we amend Senator Huff on, even though he's from Frederick in the Harford County as an honorary bill. Any objection to concurring? Seeing none, 10-0-1.
Last one, this is a pre-concurrence for Senate Bill 124, Public Schools Grant Program to Reduce and Compost School Waste. In general, this bill establishes the grant program to reduce and compost school waste for county boards of education and public schools. The House amendments strike the appropriation for the program. The motion would be to concur.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's real happy that they're so tight on the purse strings, but I spoke with the sponsor. She still wants to get the program started, and hopefully we can get the money next year. Yes. So, moved and concur, second, any objection? 10-0-1 on the pre-concurrence. And the hemp is a pre-concurrence as well, right? We do not have possession.
Question?
Ms. Goodman, do you have any others? No, that's it. Did Alexis have any? I don't think so. Okay. Vice Chair.
Just curious, these pre-concurrences, now that we're running late into the evening, do we expect that this compost bill is going to actually get to us soon? I mean, is it imminent, we're waiting on paperwork? Or
Yes,
is it we're waiting on
my
House
understanding
action?
is that it passed out, and as soon as it hits my desk, that
Got it.
means I can send it back to you and get it on the floor.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
optimistic in 2 hours. They both moved out of the house. They have to be read across on our side, and as soon as that's done, they'll shoot the reports out and they'll get back on a calendar.
We have
No.
rocked it.
No. Okay, anything else for the good of the order?
I got one more. House
Like
Bill.
Columbo.
House Bill 359, Prince George's County Alcoholic Beverages, transfer of Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a bill that authorizes the Board of License Commissioners, notwithstanding a certain prohibition on the transfer of license with an off-sale privilege, to approve the transfer of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license to a premises located in certain alcoholic beverage districts if there is no Class A beer, wine, and liquor license operating within 1 mile of the premises. Senate added an amendment to limit it to just specified counties and alcoholic beverage districts, and to leave out other alcoholic beverage districts. The House has asked us to recede from those Senate amendments.
The answer to that is get lost. I don't know which language you put that in. They can.
Not recede, ask House to reconsider?
Yeah, we're not setting a conference committee. Any objection? Nuts. Okay, anything else? Yes, Senator.
So it's my understanding that SB 630, which establishes the Office of Resilience, is going to be hopefully voted on in the next couple hours in the House. Is there a motion that we can make on the cross file for the House bill? If it comes to us, like, can we? If it comes out of rules, can we like,
It's not coming out of rules. Rules are not meeting.
okay.
Now, are they amending it in the House? Are they amending the Senate bill in the House?
It's past second reader.
So we don't have to do anything
don't
on the
have to do
Senate bill.
anything.
What else? Okay, let me thank the Vice Chair again for her